Trade winds. First, let's take a step back and talk about prevailing winds.
Prevailing winds are winds that almost always flow in the same direction. Trade winds are prevailing winds that largely always flow east to west along the Earth's equator region, otherwise known as easterly winds. They're called trade winds since any trade ships needing to travel west along the equator region would be assisted by said winds, hence the name trade winds. However, in addition to ships, these trade winds can also steer storms such as hurricanes. As you can see from this map, which highlights hurricane wind patterns across the globe, the direction is overwhelmingly east to west and along the equator region. Additionally, the Earth's rotating globe nature means that prevailing winds will be manipulated to give off the illusion of a curved path, when in reality they're following a straight path. This phenomenon is referred to as the Coriolis effect. Back in April of 2022, I uploaded episode 4 of my Flat Earth Debunked series, in which I cover the Coriolis effect in some detail to prove the Earth is a round spinning globe. Isolating a single stream of air and applying the Coriolis effect, we can combine all of these points to show that, as the Earth rotates, the trade winds from the north move along a curved path, but the intended path is still technically a straight path. I've put a link in the description for the full video if you're interested. So far we understand prevailing winds as winds that almost always blow in the same direction, and trade winds are easterly winds that, due to the Coriolis effect, give the illusion of a curved trajectory. But for the big picture on prevailing winds, we need to understand global atmospheric circulation. In Queen's 1981 classic, Under Pressure, Freddie Mercury sings the famous opening line, "Under pressure, pushing down on me, pressing down on you, no man has cold." While this has nothing to do with atmospheric conditions, if you think of pressure in the atmosphere as something pressing down, then high pressure skies can be understood as having a great downwards force, so much so that it prevents the air from rising and condensing into clouds. On the flip side, low pressure skies experience no pressure at all. In fact, it promotes free upward movement to the point of cloud formation. A key component of this is that hot air rises because it's lighter, and cold air sinks because it's heavier. So skies full of clouds are low pressure skies, and clear skies with no clouds are high pressure skies. The magic formula behind global atmospheric circulation is that high pressure will always seek low pressure. Global atmospheric circulation refers to these regions where low pressure moves to high pressure as cells. These circulation cells move rising warm air and sinking cold air all across the globe, but in a predictable direction since they're prevailing winds, and, of course, prevailing winds virtually always blow in the same direction. There are 3 cells in each hemisphere, 6 in total. Either side of the equator is the Hadley cells, followed by the Ferrel cells, and then the polar cells at the top and bottom of the Earth. Remember, Peter fell hard, hard fell Peter. These cells each have a significant role in circulating air masses all around the globe, hence the term global atmospheric circulation. Let's break it down. The Hadley cells take warm air at 0 degrees and move it to 30 degrees north and south. The Ferrel cells then take that warm air at 30 degrees north and south and move it to 60 degrees north and south. From here, the polar cells take that warm air at 60 degrees north and south and move it to 90 degrees north and south. These cells are the prevailing winds, blowing primarily in the same direction always. Since our pilot requested I look at trade winds, let's have a closer look. We'll start at the equator, the region that receives the most direct sunlight. As this area heats up, it creates a zone of low pressure called the Intertropical Convergence Zone. I made a video in May of 2022 on the Intertropical Convergence Zone that covers this concept in some detail if you would like to know more. I'll leave a link in the description. Essentially, as the air in this low pressure zone along the equator rises, the air eventually sinks and becomes colder, creating an area of high pressure 30 degrees north and south. Since high pressure skies seek out low pressure, air at 30 degrees north and south will constantly try and blow towards the equator region. In an Earth that does not spin, this would be a straight line, but due to the curved rotating nature of the globe Earth, the Coriolis effect kicks in and creates an illusion that the path is curved. We can see this curved path all over the globe as a result. Focusing on the trade winds of the Hadley cells above and below the equator, this creates a constant easterly wind that will always blow east to west, hence being a prevailing wind. And that's trade winds.